I never imagined my life would change with a single conversation. My grandfather, a man of few words, was finally ready to share a secret that had been haunting him for decades, and what he told me was beyond belief. Grandpa Henry was never the emotional type. A Vietnam War veteran, he carried the weight of the past on his shoulders. He rarely spoke about his time overseas, but when he did, it was always about survival, duty, and regret. But that night, as I sat by his hospital bed, he grabbed my hand tightly and said, "Ethan, there's something I need to tell you before I go. I have another child, a daughter, and she's out there somewhere." I was stunned. A hidden sister? How was this possible? Grandpa continued, his voice filled with both sadness and urgency. Her mother was someone special, but I left and I never knew about the baby until years later. I knew I had to find her, but Grandpa had no name, only a vague memory of where she might be. It was like looking for a ghost. When I brought it up to the rest of the family, their reactions were strange. Some avoided eye contact, others acted like they knew nothing. But I knew there was more to this story. Then I found it, an old letter hidden in Grandpa's belongings. The words inside changed everything. "Henry, our daughter deserves to know the truth." The letter mentioned a place, Seattle. I started digging through online forums, veteran groups, and old records, hoping to find any trace of her. Then out of nowhere, I got a call. A woman's voice said, "I think you're looking for me." She introduced herself as Lynn. "Henry was my father," she said, her voice trembling. My heart raced. This was real. She told me her mother had written to Grandpa, but he never responded. She grew up believing he abandoned them, until she moved to the US and learned the truth. Lynn had tried to reach him years ago, but the letters never made it to him. She thought he didn't care, but he never knew. I confronted my family. Why did no one tell Grandpa? Turns out some of them knew, but they thought it was better left in the past. I couldn't change the past, but I could change the future. Lynn wasn't just a story, she was my family. A week after Grandpa's funeral, I found one last message from him. "Find her. Tell her I never forgot." But just when I thought the story was over, I took a DNA test. And what I discovered? Lynn wasn't the only hidden relative. There was another sibling, someone else out there, connected to our family. The story wasn't over, it was just beginning. So now I'm on a plane to find out who they are. If you thought this was wild, just wait for what's next. Want to see what happens next? Hit that like button, subscribe, and stay tuned for the next chapter of this unbelievable journey.